Hello guys, and welcome back to the review of the entire Replicating Ranieri series, where today we are going over the entire series as a whole. Then we are going to do a tier list of my favourite clubs that we've used in this series. Then we're going to go over the best 11 and, of course, the player of the season before we retire and end the series for good. Thank you guys to everyone that has tuned in during this series. I know there are a couple of you that have literally watched every single video, and I cannot say how much that means to me. Honestly, my audio quality, my video quality, I know it is, not the best, but I love that there are at least a few people who can live with that because they, think my personality is all right enough to stick around for every single video. Maybe my content as well, but who really knows? Honestly, I don't understand it, but just a huge thank you to everyone. And if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss a brand new channel series, which should be coming in just a few days. But let's jump into the review of this entire series, and quickly we'll go through the managerial stats and stuff like that. So, we are known for playing high tempo, signing players from lower levels of domestic game. I find that very hard to believe. Signing players from the domestic game. I, again, don't really agree with that, but okay. Younger players for the first team, yes. Signing much younger players for the first team, yes. Signing very young players for the first team, yes. And signing much young players for the future. So a lot of younger players and basically just playing the Gegenpress. Apparently, we are not very good friends with Arthur Boric. Only person that doesn't like us. We are very close with Laudrup, who took over from us as the Real Betis manager, and apparently Collar. Never met your man, but I'm happy to be close with that guy. So we're going to quickly go through every single season that we have done, and we are going to take a stroll down memory lane for all of you guys to see what we have done. And it started off with Bournemouth, where we finished. Where is it? We finished 9th place. That's not us, is it? Is it? Was it us? No, we finished 10th. And that squad was, not great, to be completely honest with you. I don't think I can go back that far. But, that was an interesting first season. It certainly made me regret making the challenge, but straight after that we went away with Eintracht Frankfurt, where we finished 5th, and that was the first season where I really thought this is possible, we can do this, and I was very chuffed with how the entire season went. Next we had a year off, the only year off that we ever had, and went to Real Betis, which is going to go down in history as the best season for this Replicating Ranieri challenge. And we even have one of our old players still there, Elena. Good to see you. Good to see that he's sticking around, considering I got him on a free. We finished in 3rd place, even managed to beat the points tally that Ranieri did get with Leicester City. So if we were in the same league, technically, I would have not only replicated Ranieri, I would have beaten him. But, it's not how the cookie crumbled, and unfortunately didn't quite get that title. Next, we were with Toulouse, and we finished 8th place, which wasn't too bad at all. Pretty forgettable season, but, I just remember it because I was in Queenstown when the first episode uploaded, so just a wee factoid for you guys there. Next, we went to Augsburg, where we had a pretty successful spell, finishing 3rd place. Again, a really good chance to win the entire series and league, but just off the mark. Next to Strasbourg, where we finished 4th. Not bad, but never really too competitive against PSG. Then next, we managed to go to VfB Stuttgart, where I think this was, without a doubt, our best chance of completing the challenge. And it is hard to say that we did genuinely slip off the mark so much. I think we ended up finishing... What place did we end up finishing? I can't remember. It was only a few seasons ago. Where was it last season? Oh, 6th. Oh, yes, because it hasn't registered the stuff from this season yet. Gosh, sorry about that. And that was the closest that I think we ever were going to get to winning the league. There were times in that season where we were top of the table for such an extended period of time. I think one of you even commented down below, when you win the league, do a whole nother season with them. And I'm like, and I had pre-recorded, and I knew we weren't going to win the league at that point. So I was just like, mate, you have no idea what's coming. And of course, the final season that we just have completed with Freiburg, we finished 10th place. And overall, not a bad total for the series. Definitely did all right, but at the end of the day, couldn't quite complete the challenge, but a win percentage of 50%, not too bad at all. We also managed to be the manager of the year quite a few times, so you can't really complain about that. As far as awards go, this is all we got. Real Betis, manager of the year for the Spanish La Liga, then Augsburg, runner-up of manager of the year, and then the manager of the year with Stuttgart. So some pretty respectable results there, but nothing out of the world. We're going to jump into the tier list now and take a look at my personal favourite teams that we have used in this entire series. So let's go straight into that now. And you guys will have to let me know down in the comment section below whether or not you agree with that or not. So we're just using the tiermaker.com tier list function to create this. And we're going to start from the very start with Bournemouth. And we know exactly where we're putting them in the tier list. Right on the bottom. They were absolutely terrible for us. I didn't sort out a tactic. I did shockingly. I think I tried to play 4-4-2 for a good period of time. Not good, but it was a learning curve. And then the second season with Eintracht Frankfurt is my favourite season. It was incredible. It was so much fun. It was the first season I felt like we could actually complete the challenge, and we even came quite close at one point, but obviously fell off the mark. But the team that we had, it could have gone places. I'll tell you that much for free. Next off, we went to Real Betis, where for different reasons. This is also going into the top tier. What a season that was. We managed to come third, even do better than Ranieri on a points tally, as I've already said. Had an amazing squad, overachieved by miles, but unfortunately just didn't quite get that last few points that we needed to lose. A very average season, obviously a season that we kind of forget because it was such a dull one, but we did do quite well from taking a formerly relegated club that is going to go into the C tier for me. Just a bit of a forgettable one. Nothing too special, but definitely not anything too upsetting. Augsburg is going straight into the B tier. We definitely did really well with them, but I didn't quite enjoy it as much as a couple other of the seasons. But don't get me wrong, we definitely had some amazing players and an amazing squad. And actually, come to think of it, I think we're going to move it up to A. That was a good season. We came pretty close, but probably not as good as these two. But next off, we went to Strasbourg, where we actually did quite well. That's going straight into the B tier. We came fourth, overachieved by quite a bit. We don't mind that at all. Stuttgart, I mean, it could be an S tier season. It could have been the year that we completed the challenge, but unfortunately, we were just short of the mark. So for that reason, it's not going any higher than A tier. But what could have been? The first half would have been S tier by miles, but unfortunately we just fell off the pace a wee bit. And of course the Freiburg season, if we won the German Cup, it would probably go into C or maybe even B. But because of what happened, we ended up down in 10th place, just the same as Bournemouth. Not quite as bad points-wise, but only 0.01 of a point more, so that matches that side down in the D tier. But now it is time to go over the best 11 for the squad. And I don't have a fancy animation set up, so we're just going to go through the players' buys one by one. Starting with the goalkeeper, and the best goalkeeper in the series for me is Dalberg. We brought him in to Augsburg for our one season there for only 1.9 million, and he did a great job. I was absolutely ecstatic with how good he was in between the sticks, and I think he certainly was the best goalkeeper of the entire series. The next player that we're going to search up as one of the best centre-backs in the pairing is going to be Nathan Ake. He's even moved to Real Madrid at some point in the save, but he was there for the very first season where we were with Bournemouth, and he was a rock in the back. I don't remember it too well, but I do remember him being a pretty good one, and keeping a hold of him was a very good decision. And his defensive partner is going to be Manuel Akanji, who has moved on to a smaller side than we would have expected, but he was amazing for us. Came in for 30 million the year after I brought him in on loan because of how well he did for me. he always felt like such a good defensive-minded player for Real Betis that one season, and the 7.21 rating certainly justifies that. Next, our right back is, in fact, Da Costa from the season over with, who were we with? It was with Eintracht Frankfurt. Nice wee voice crack for you guys there. Finally, I found him. Danny Da Costa moved all the way out to the Saudi Arabian League, I believe that is. He was even at Freiburg for a few seasons, which would have been fun to reunite with him. But if we take a look at the season that he was there with us, let's go through it. So, 1, 2, so this one, 7 goals, 6 assists. He was amazing for us. Really enjoyed playing with him. But, yeah, definitely one of the best players and miles better than any other right back we had in the series. And next, his left back partner, and it is, of course, Marcos Alonso, if I can find him. He was also a centre-back, no, not centre-back, a left back in the Eintracht Frankfurt side, and he was, again, outstanding. He got 4 goals and 10 assists. I thought he was one of the best players in the entire series. But you'll have to find out if he was the player of the series. And, of course, because we played with 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder, that's the formation we are going to go with for this best 11, because that is obviously the formation that I went with the most. And the best defender, central defensive midfielder, gosh, that took me a while to get to, in my opinion, for us, was William Carvalho, who was amazing for us in the season with Real Betis. So 1, 2, skip a year. 3, he did such a good job as the captain. He had the opportunity to leave, he decided to stay, and gosh, I'm happy that he did that. 5 assists, 2 goals, 5 man of the matches, and he was just a rock, and it gave us that leadership quality that we needed. Next, we're going to give the best central midfielder on the left to the Ginger Ninja, and I'm actually struggling to remember what his real name was. So I know it started with VAS, and we're going to try and find him. Took me a while to find him, but don't worry guys, I have eventually got onto his profile. This man was absolutely amazing for us. Absolutely blew my socks off. I knew he was going to be good, but this is the season that we were focusing on. 6 goals and 6 assists, and I think that was not exactly the whole picture of what he did for our squad. Really solid player, and one that we loved to have, and would have been very good if we could have kept him around in R1 with Stuttgart, but unfortunately didn't go there until a bit later. His partner in the midfield role is, of course, Manu Kone. Not many of you will remember him because, as I said, was a pretty forgettable season with Toulouse, but this is the year that we are focusing on. 8 goals, 6 assists, 5 man in the match awards. He was amazing. The stats are incredible, and this player is just such a great pickup on Football Manager this year. Out on the left, we are going to start with just an amazing summer signing that turned into one of the best players I've ever signed in this year's Football Manager. Those physical stats are amazing. It is, of course, Mustafa Hakan. I remember when I brought him in, he was just the best thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. Such a good season for us. 10 goals, 2 assists, 7.41 rating. He's only gotten, better. Well, actually, he got worse, and then he got better again. So he is such a good player. I wish I could have played with him for longer, but that's not the way the cookie crumbled in this series. Out on the right, it is going to be a player who definitely doesn't normally play on the right, but it is, in fact, Tammy Abraham, who is now at Real Sociedad, and he's probably joining on a permanent deal. And we're focusing on that 1 year that he came on loan for us for Stuttgart last year. 8 goals, 7 assists, 5 man of the match awards after just 18 appearances. Another summer signing that proved to be a very good one. And up top, you know what, I don't even need to search him in the bar because he's in our squad right now. Of course, it is going to be Juan Carlos Suarez. What a player this man is. 30 goals in 31 games. He did an incredible job for us. I am stoked with how he had played, and I can't believe that this mix-up meant that we got such an amazing gem in our squad. So that is the best 11 for this series, but there is one player that I think definitely deserves an honourable mention, and that is Borja Iglesias, if I can find him. It's IG and then an L. Yeah, there we go. He's a director of football right now, so good for him, trying to get some job in today's market, but he was such an amazing player for us in our season with Real Betis. And if we go up here, we can see exactly where it was, because it's his best season ever. He was our player of the year. He was such a great player for us, and he represented so much for that Real Betis side. But unfortunately, I mean, he didn't quite score as many as Suarez, but there is definitely an argument to say that he was better than Suarez. And I definitely found it hard to decide between the two of them. So I think naming him as the one honourable mention is pretty fair enough, because I think if he played in just about any other position, he would have been in that starting 11. But as we go through this now, as we finish the starting 11 for the best 11, we can now go through what you've all been waiting for, my opinion of the best players of the entire series. And in number 3, it is going to, of course, well, we don't even have to search him up because he's right over here. It is going to Juan Carlos Suarez, an absolutely insane player, brought in for such a low fee, and he just epitomizes what this series is all about, buying players for cheap, trying to make sure that they do well in the short term, and he certainly did that. 30 goals from 31 games. How we didn't win the Golden Boot is absolutely beyond me, but he was one of the best players we have ever dealt with. In second place, it is the captain of our best performing side ever, William Carvalho, and he was such a good player for us. And I don't think the stats quite represent what he did for us. He was so good for us that one year, where it was that year actually, up here. And he did some insane stuff for us. He was the rock in central defensive midfield, as well as the fact that he was our captain, and he had the opportunity to leave on a few times to clubs, including Benfica, but he decided to stay. He stuck around, he helped us come third, which was an absolutely amazing achievement. 7.22 average rating does not tell the whole story by a long shot. He was one of the best players we ever used in this series. And the winner, I'm not sure many of you guys will have expected it, but this is my favourite player in the entire replicating Ranieri season, and it is going to Mustafa Hakan, who played for us at Augsburg. He stayed at Augsburg. He is wanted by Tottenham and Marseille, and I imagine he probably will go on the move. We brought him in for such a cheap fee, and he played only 17 games, but it was enough to be my favourite player I've ever used in this game. This year, I think, such an amazing talent. 17 games, 10 goals, 2 assists, 5 player of the matches, 7.41 average rating. I would have loved to have used him for many more seasons, but, you know, that's not always how it works. Physicals that you dream of, absolutely amazing technicals in the areas that you need for an attacking winger, and also even in the mental, he's not too bad at all, and he was just such a great player for us. A turning point in our season at one point, but obviously we faded out near the end. But with all of those awards handed out, there's nothing else to do but say goodbye to this series, and it's been my favourite one, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed it too. Make sure to like and subscribe for the new series, which should be coming out very, very soon. I'm trying to organise a microphone because, you know, I want to get some premium quality for you guys before it comes out, but at the end of the day, I don't know if I'll be able to get it in time, but I'm doing the best with what I've got. So, as always, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been massive supporters of the series. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new to this channel. And I'll see you all later.